So I'm just heading down to Sunderland City Centre. We've got an apartment there which we've been renting out on Airbnb, and we've had an offer in for it, and it's a lot of hassle. I would definitely recommend Airbnb for people who like to invest the money in property, but for me I haven't really got the systems in place. I haven't got really the focus to put all that in place, so we've been earning decent money out of it, but kind of looking forward just to having that off our plate, because we were doing most things manually. We had a cleaner coming in. That cleaner didn't always do a great job, so it was one of them things that if we wanted to get like the 5-star reviews, if we wanted to continue being a super host, it was just too much hassle. So we're selling the flat. Contracts are getting exchanged on Friday. We're just nipping down to get rid of the last few things. I've got some really good stuff coming up, because just to embark on a brand new business. This is pretty much going to be the first startup business that I've created since I sold my company in 2020, and I said I would never start a business again because it's such hard work. It takes so much out of you, but I've just got this opportunity to put something together that I think is going to make such a huge difference to so many people. As you know, I've started to sort of mentor and consult, and there's only so much of that you can do yourself. So I've designed a platform that's going to allow me to help and support a lot more people, which doesn't fully rely on me all of the time being that person. So really excited about that. I think it's got huge potential, and can't really disclose exactly the ins and outs of that, but that should be launching in the next sort of 8 weeks. So I'll keep you updated on that, but got loads going on. I just need to remember when I've got stuff going on to try and record it. Yeah, so this week, so yeah, I'm sorting this flat out today. Hopefully as well, for those who know, I also own a football agency. So we represent a couple of footballers, professional footballers and academy footballers, and we've got hopefully a deal going through today which will see one of our players go on loan from Sunderland Football Club to a local non-league side to get some game time. So really excited about that, really excited to see what he can do in men's football, because that is very different under 21s football. So I'll share information on that a little bit later, and yeah, I'll see you down at the flat. Yeah, so I mean, as you can see, I mean, it doesn't look as nice without the furniture, but it is a nice spacious apartment. 2 bedrooms. I sound like an estate agent here, don't I? But 2 bedrooms, it's duplex. We're on the top floor, which is obviously the living space, and you come in here, you can see the kitchen. And the really cool thing about this apartment is the balcony literally stretches the whole distance across the apartment, and then downstairs in each bedroom, we've also got a balcony on each bedroom. So obviously it served its purpose really well. Like we actually lived in here, so when me and Emma first got together, this is our first like home, which obviously means a lot to us. Theo was born here, but not actually in here, but when we brought Theo back from hospital, it brings back loads of memories. And one of the reasons that I wanted to get this recorded today, before we kind of left, was this is where I set up my first business, Lynch Healthcare, from your son's bedroom up, from your spare bedroom downstairs. I'll take you down, let you have a look, tell you a little bit more about that. But yeah, no, it's really cool. As, you know, people have come up and used it, they've stayed when they've been performing in the Empire. Football fans come to Stadium of Light, events such as the air show. It sort of served its purpose really well. We're doing quite well out of it in terms of Airbnb income, but like I said, it's just a lot of hassle. It's just not property at the moment. Just property isn't for me. I've got so many other irons in the fire that I'm kind of just going to close this chapter and see where that takes us. So this is the room, the spare bedroom that Lynch Healthcare was born. 2009. I had a desk just over here in this corner, and yeah, off I went. I remember, because I borrowed some money from the RBS bank, I borrowed some money from a friend, and I borrowed some money from my brother. Didn't have any money myself to put into it. And I remember, like, literally the RBS bank is literally up that street, then turn right. And yeah, I just remember, like, back to and from for the bank, getting everything agreed. And yeah, it was really funny because when I set up, I had a little bit of experience in sort of management accounts, and I was dead set that even the business was just a startup, I really wanted to put them systems and processes in place early doors. So I was doing management accounts for my first month, and I always remember our management accountant came out and he was literally sat on the bed over there, and I was at my desk, and we were literally talking through everything then. And I think I might have turned over like my first £1,000 in the first month. Second month, I don't think I did anything. And then the third month, I got quite lucky. I used to look after a client. We used to look after a client who had a day centre, and we used to sort of do all their service and maintenance, and this is for the company I used to work with, and always had a good relationship with him. And literally, he rang us one day and he said, look, we've had a flood in the centre. Everything needs replacing, everything's damaged, the place is a mess. So can you send us a quote for like a full replacement of equipment? So that was literally the start of it all. I think the quote was about £20,000 job, and we got that, we delivered that. That helped me sort of set up the suppliers and yeah, get sort of trading terms with them. Obviously they were pleased because the first order was decent. And yeah, it just went off from there. And yeah, so in a minute I'm just going to be sort of logging up, getting away. And what I thought is, why I'm out and about today, and because everywhere else is so close, I'm going to visit the other 3 business premises that I got. So after this one, we got our first place in the university building. It was a small office, probably about the size of this, but then we moved to a little workshop, and then we eventually had a big plant down on the riverside. So I'm going to take you through that little journey that I had in my business. Thought it was a good idea, because it, you know, literally was a massive part of my life from 2009 as a startup business to selling the business in 2020. Gone from this spare room to a huge sort of factory, manufacturing, exporting across the world, importing, we had an e-commerce store. It really was like an amazing 11 years, and I'll keep going on about that probably for the rest of my life, because it was that made me. It was something that made me, and like nothing prepares yourself for like growing a business. Like you've got to learn how to navigate through them different stages, from starting up like this to growing your business, then scaling your business, and then making sure your business is right for sale. But not only that, not only have you got to go through them different stages, you've got to learn all the other things along the way, the people, how to be a people manager, how to be a leader, the finances, the operations, the sales and the marketing. It is really just a minefield. So after about 6 months, we decided to move out of there and move to like a university building where it was like subsidised rent. And I think we were there for about 2 years, maybe not even that, but 2 years there. It was like a serviced accommodation. You had your reception, but like I say, the space size, it was like the same as what you're just seeing in the flat there, just a small office, but just a little bit more professional. Got this university building that was like subsidised, and then if you look across the way, there's like a fire protection thing over there. So we used to he used to let us put some of our deliveries in there, so we used to get the deliveries here, but obviously being like an office building, we couldn't take deliveries in. So that guy over the road used to let us put our deliveries in, sort them all out, and then we used to then dispatch them off to customers. So from this little office here, there's people looking in, so I'm not spending too much time because I don't look like a weirdo, but that first office there was my office. Like I say, it was only the size of the flat bedroom, but it just gives us a little bit more credibility and a little bit more professionalism. And we took our first administrator on here, so our first member of staff was actually recruited in that room, interviewed in that room. So yeah, but like everything's quite close together here. You probably, not many people might know Sunderland, but everything's quite close together. But going from my house to here and then onto the other factories are all in the space of like a few miles. So these are little workshops, and we were in 10B to start with, which is just around here. Just pull around. Yeah, there it is. 10B. So it's a little bit windy, hope you can hear all right, but yeah, back to where it all started. So this was our first like workshop premises. Literally just a shell inside. We had to build an office. It was always absolutely freezing, and we sort of did it out with racking. We started to keep a lot more stock in terms of spare parts when we used to do repairs. We used to remove equipment and store it here. So yeah, it's took our first and second engineer on here. So we went from one administrator, 2 engineers and me, and of course we had the old landline. But yeah, it's just the first time I've been back actually, and it's quite weird, quite nice. Just seems the same as what it was probably I don't know, 7-8 years ago. So yeah, on to the next one. So final stop, this is West Quay Court, and this is where we finished up with the business. I think we were here for about 8 years, and you're just coming down here now. There's Munchie's Deli. I need to get a picture of Munchie's Deli. Can't believe it's still open. We'll have to put in that. So I used to go in Munchie's Deli nearly every single breakfast time, and then nearly every single lunch time. So you just kind of see here this unit on the end that says Fair support. That's the unit we moved into, and then we took the second unit as well. So it's really windy down here, so I don't know whether you'll be able to hear us all right. But this end unit here, just to give a better view, got the offices upstairs and lovely view onto the river. I'll just come down here because it's a little bit more shaded from the wind. Yeah, so this here used to be, this was our first office, Unit 7. Lovely glass fronted building, and we had like a workshop, so half of the unit was workshop and half of the unit was office space. And when we first moved in here, we only had the downstairs, so the landlord at the time, because these were all new, all these buildings were new, the landlord let us just take the downstairs, so we had a little office downstairs and we had our like factory area. We weren't allowed to use upstairs, although we did use it sometimes when we had customers in. And so yeah, we had this for about 5 years, and then we expanded and we took Unit 6 as well. So we took Unit 6. We took Unit 6 when we started manufacturing our own products from here. So we used to have seamstresses, we had a machine shop, and we used to manufacture some of the medical devices, which were Class 1 medical devices. But yeah, it is really weird to come back down here because this was such a big part of my life, and if I'm honest, it just reminds us of stress. Every day seemed to be a stress, and whether people can relate to that, whether my business was more stressful than other people, but yeah, it just seemed a lot of stress. We had some good times, don't get us wrong, and looking back now, it's amazing to think what we achieved. You know, we used to import from Scandinavia, we exported to, we did Arab Health Care show in Dubai a few times, and ended up getting customers out in Dubai and Qatar. We had, yeah, it sort of really did take off once we got here, whether it was just the premises size, whether it was everything about us more professional. And yeah, we ended up having contracts across the full of the UK, down as far as Cambridgeshire, London, and had a lot of contracts up here in the northeast. What else did we have? Lincolnshire area, Leicestershire. We had a big contract in Leicestershire, and yeah, we really grew it over that period of time. And we were about to take the other unit, which I think is Unit 5. Before we were approached to be acquired, we took Unit 5. We were just going to be looking at taking Unit 5. So that, yeah, so basically all of that full block was ours, and yeah, quite nice to look back on this. Like I say, just get back in the car now. Get back in the car. Yeah, so like I say, I haven't been back since I saw, which was October 2020. But it's amazing when you kind of think, you know, I was managed to sort of build this up from my spare bedroom, take it all the way through the different sort of stages. I think at one point we had like 30 staff here, which in itself was hard work, if I'm honest. I was never very good at sort of people management. I was a bit better at the leadership side when I had people under me, but I was never a good manager. I never knew where to draw the line between having fun, treating them as friends and having a bit of a laugh, to then having to sort of put my foot down and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it's just good to look back. It's good to look back at the journey. And so yeah, so what's next? So in the next video, I'm hoping to be able to tell you a bit more about that. And then we're going out to Dubai for like nearly 5 weeks. Going to spend some time over there. Got some business opportunities over in Dubai, and we also are considering moving out there. So we're gonna give it like 5 weeks to see what we all think about it. Yeah, so we're doing that in May, and yeah, keep you updated with other stuff that's happening, and I'll catch you all later.